Everybody believes in violence. Everybody believes in violence. There's just people who pretend that they don't. And that's because everybody believes that something is sacred and something needs to be protected, right? You can translate the concepts across cultures, across civilizations, whatever. For some people, their homeland is sacred. For some people, their nation is sacred. For some people, their race is sacred. And we can have a discussion as to, well, is that a legitimate thing to take pride in, or is that a legitimate thing to get up in arms about, or not? But the reality is everybody believes that something is sacred, to the point that if that sacred thing is threatened and violence is required to protect it, those people are going to engage in violence to protect it. That's normal. That's human life, right? So for someone to come and act like Muslims are a particular type of violent, or especially violent, or more violent than other people, come on. Look in the mirror. Show me a Muslim nation in the world today that has the military that the United States has, or has intervened in other countries like the United States has, or who have dropped atomic weapons on anyone like the United States has, right? And all those things can be put up for debate and conversation. You can have a conversation, what's legitimate violence and what's not legitimate violence. But the point is, don't pretend that it's not violence. If you think the violence is legitimate, you can say, well, yes, it's violence, but I believe that it was justified. Okay, right? But don't play this whole game. Or are you going to tell me that Muslims are violent and you're all the peace-loving people and you all are just holding hands and singing Kumbaya all day? That's not reality, right? And if you get to that point where you admit and recognize that you're just as violent as everybody else, you're just as violent as me, just as violent as the guy down the street, then we can actually have a real conversation about what is legitimate violence and what's not. What are the really sacred things that should be defended in life and what aren't? What are the sorts of things that people should be sacrificing their lives for and shouldn't? That's a conversation that's actually worth having.